Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel where we delve into the fascinating world of the British royal family. Today, we're turning our attention to His Majesty King Charles III, a monarch whose reign is still relatively young but already presents some intriguing points of discussion. We know King Charles has long championed vital causes, particularly the urgent need for environmental stewardship and the protection of our planet. He's been a pioneering voice in this area for decades, advocating for sustainability long before it became a mainstream concern. However, recent reports and insights from royal commentators suggest that His Majesty harbors a personal habit, an ingrained tendency perhaps, that appears to stand in stark contrast to his deeply held public convictions and his stated goals for the modern monarchy. Before we fully immerse ourselves in this topic, if you appreciate our detailed look at royal affairs, please do remember to give this video a like. It truly helps our channel. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future explorations into the lives and times of the British royals. Your support is invaluable. Now let's explore this apparent paradox. King Charles has embarked on a mission to streamline the monarchy, often referred to as creating a slimmed-down institution. This initiative aims to reduce the number of working royals, clarify roles, and, importantly, ease the financial burden on the crown and, by extension, the public purse. Privileges previously enjoyed by non-working members of the family have reportedly been curtailed as part of this effort towards greater efficiency and perceived value for money in the 21st century. It's a move designed to modernize the monarchy and ensure its relevance in contemporary society. However, it appears that while the king is focused on trimming the institutional expenses and dependencies, some of his own personal habits might require a similar level of scrutiny and potentially slimming down. These habits, some inherited and seemingly deeply ingrained, are not only costly but, according to some observers, could eventually form a notable part of his legacy, a legacy that might inadvertently undermine the very principles he champions, particularly that of sustainability. According to the well-respected royal biographer and former editor of Vanity Fair and Tatler, Tina Brown, King Charles seems to have adopted certain aspects of the lifestyle enjoyed by his late and much-loved grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother. In her revealing book *The Palace Papers*, Brown offers a fascinating, albeit sometimes critical look behind the palace walls, drawing on extensive interviews and insights from various sources connected to the royal household. The Queen Mother, who passed away in 2002 at the remarkable age of 101, was a figure of immense popularity and enduring resilience. She was also, however, known for her rather extravagant tastes and the maintenance of an extensive household staff right up until the end of her long life. Tina Brown recounts in her book that senior courtiers within the palace establishment held the view that Charles, perhaps influenced by his grandmother's old-world elegance and the comfort it afforded, harbored a desire to out-granny Granny in terms of maintaining a certain level of traditional grandeur. Brown writes, and we quote from *The Palace Papers*, that King Charles, unfortunately, chose to emulate his big-spending grandmother, who insisted on living in Edwardian grandeur, maintaining 5 fully staffed homes. This particular detail, the maintenance of 5 fully staffed residences, paints a vivid picture of a lifestyle far removed from the modern concept of efficiency or minimal environmental footprint. The Edwardian era was, after all, known for its opulence and large domestic staffs, a stark contrast to the pressures of the 21st century, where sustainability and reducing consumption are paramount concerns. Tina Brown further noted in her work that the Queen Mother, through her longevity and her position within the family, set the tone for several generations of royal life. Her influence was profound and far-reaching, remaining a powerful influence on both Charles and Queen Elizabeth II. This suggests that the Queen Mother's approach to life, her preferences, and her standards of comfort and service left a lasting impression on her grandson, potentially shaping his own expectations and habits. One particular anecdote, widely reported and cited, serves as a striking illustration of the level of personal service and logistical arrangements that have been associated with King Charles. This incident reportedly occurred when he was visiting a friend at their residence in the north of England. The arrangements made for this seemingly simple visit were, to say the least, extraordinary. According to a report published in the Daily Mail newspaper, It was rumored that Charles took the step of sending his staff ahead to the friend's home a full day before his own arrival. This advance party wasn't merely there to prepare the rooms in the usual sense. Instead, they were accompanied by a large truck, specifically brought along to carry furniture and other personal items, intended to replace the existing fittings in the guest rooms assigned to the then Prince Charles and his wife, Camilla. The contents of this truck, as detailed in the report, offer a fascinating glimpse into the specific requirements and preferences associated with the royal visit. The truck apparently contained Charles and Camilla's complete bedrooms. This wasn't just a few personal effects. It included his own orthopedic bed, designed presumably for comfort and support, along with his preferred linen. But the list of transported items went even further, encompassing a range of highly specific personal comforts and necessities. Other items reportedly included a small radio, presumably tuned to his preferred stations or simply for personal use, and perhaps most notably, his own lavatory seat. Yes, you heard that correctly. His personal toilet seat was transported for his use during the visit. Alongside this rather particular item were rolls of a specific brand and type of toilet paper. Kleenex Premium. Comfort lavatory paper. The list continued with his chosen alcoholic beverage, Lafroig whiskey, known for its distinctive peaty flavor, and, of course, bottled water. To complete the familiar environment, 2 landscapes of the Scottish Highlands, presumably paintings or prints from his personal collection, were also among the items transported to adorn the guest room walls. Now, consider the logistics and implications of this single anecdote. Sending staff ahead a day early, hiring a truck loading it with an entire bedroom suite, including a bed, specific linen, a personal toilet seat, particular brand of toilet paper, favored drink, water, and even specific artwork, and then presumably transporting it all back afterwards represents a significant undertaking. This is far beyond packing a personal overnight bag or even a few suitcases. It speaks to a level of expectation regarding personal comfort and familiarity that requires substantial logistical support and consequently cost and resource consumption. Furthermore, beyond such detailed travel arrangements, other reports have highlighted King Charles's preferences in personal attire. It is known, for instance, that he favors handmade shirts. While there is nothing inherently wrong with bespoke clothing, the reported cost of these shirts is significant, retailing for approximately $1,350 each. While such items are likely durable and potentially represent support for traditional craftsmanship, the price point certainly falls into the category of luxury expenditure. These examples, the elaborate travel setup and the expensive personal items, seem to present a challenge when viewed through the lens of King Charles's stated goals. On the one hand, he is actively working to reduce the official financial footprint of the monarchy by limiting the number of working royals and their associated privileges. This is a visible effort to respond to public expectations in an era of economic consciousness. However, on the other hand, if the monarch's own personal expenses, whether for travel comforts or bespoke clothing, are substantial, they could potentially offset some of the savings achieved elsewhere. The optics of maintaining such a high level of personal service and luxury, even if funded from private means, which is not always clear to the public when it comes to royal expenses, can be challenging to reconcile with the message of a streamlined, cost-aware monarchy. More profoundly, these habits raise questions concerning King Charles's long-standing advocacy for sustainability. The core principle of sustainability, at its heart, is about using resources responsibly, only what is truly necessary, without placing an undue burden on the planet's finite resources. Transporting entire bedrooms and specific personal items across the country using trucks and associated logistics has an environmental cost in terms of fuel consumption, emissions, and wear and tear. While one trip might seem minor in isolation, if such practices are routine, they accumulate. Does flying furniture and personal effects align with a commitment to reducing one's carbon footprint and living sustainably? The apparent disconnect between the king's powerful public message on environmental responsibility and these reported private habits creates a potential vulnerability. It's not only a potential problem for the planet, in terms of resource consumption associated with maintaining such a lifestyle, but it could also become a significant challenge for the crown itself. public perception of the monarchy is crucial for its continued existence and relevance. In an age where transparency is increasingly demanded, and where environmental concerns are paramount for many, particularly younger generations, perceived hypocrisy or a failure to walk the walk can erode trust and support. The image of a monarch who champions environmental causes and advocates for a leaner institution, yet reportedly requires his own specific toilet seat and an entire bedroom suite transported for a short visit, presents a striking contrast. It raises questions about the feasibility of truly embodying sustainability and cost consciousness at the highest level of an ancient institution. Perhaps these habits are simply relics of a bygone era, deeply ingrained from a lifetime lived under different rules and expectations, heavily influenced by figures like the Queen Mother. Perhaps they are viewed within the royal household as necessary comforts or requirements for maintaining the king's well-being or routine amidst a demanding schedule. However, in the harsh light of public scrutiny and against the backdrop of the king's own stated principles and the economic realities faced by many, they appear as potential contradictions. In conclusion, King Charles III stands at an interesting juncture. He is a monarch with a clear vision for a modern, streamlined monarchy and a decades-long record as an environmental advocate. Yet reports suggest that certain personal habits, inherited from a different era of royal life, present an apparent paradox. The level of personal service and logistical arrangements, detailed in accounts like Tina Brown's in the Daily Mail's report, raise questions about how personal luxury and environmental responsibility can coexist at the very top. This situation highlights the inherent challenges in modernizing an institution steeped in centuries of tradition and privilege. It prompts us to consider whether the principles of sustainability and cost efficiency must apply not just to the institution as a whole, but fundamentally to the personal lives and habits of those who lead it. What are your thoughts on this fascinating insight into the king's personal habits and how they might relate to his public image and goals? Do you believe these are minor personal preferences, or do they represent a significant contradiction? Let us know your opinions in the comments section below. We value your perspective. Thank you for watching our deep dive into this aspect of King Charles's life. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more royal insights, and join us again soon for our next update. Until then, take care.